Hey guys, this is Cam315 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And this is another Pokemon Journeys episode review for you guys. And today's episode was pretty good. We got a lot of Koharu, um, character development here, which a lot of people have been clamoring, are we gonna get Koharu, or are we getting Koharu, development anytime soon? And here we get another pretty good Koharu, developmental episode between her and Yamper. So that was good. So, anyways, as we all know, P Dove, Yamper, and Koharu were the main stars of this episode. So the episode starts off with the P Dove obviously flying away, and it actually hits Koharu's window. Um, and then Koharu goes downstairs after seeing something in a magazine of an illustration her mom drew of her and her bed, like of her getting out of the bed with hugging Yamper, which was pretty cute. Now Koharu, she didn't like that. She's like, "Why are you drawing this? Like, please don't," and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, Yamper, he finds the Pidove. He kind of drags him in, and we see that Pidove's wing is injured after it revives a bit, and it can't fly essentially. And essentially, the family decides to take care of Pidove till it heals up. Now, when the family kind of takes Pidove in, Yamper starts to get a little bit sad because the family is not giving him the attention and stuff like that, which plays into a most part. Now, Ash and Go really didn't have much of a thing in this episode. Um, we see Ash is training Riluyu and Pikachu, and then Go comes out of nowhere, says he's looking for Sobble, and because Sobble ran away or something like that. They find the other Pokemon in the park crying, and then they see that Sobble's close by. They later defuse the situation thanks to Dragonite hugging it and stuff like that. So, yeah, and that's kind of it what we get from Ash and Go this week. So, boring for them. They don't do nothing. This is strictly, like I said, Koharu development. Anyways, Yamper actually starts chasing the Pidove around, then I think the next day. And, you know, he's just wanting to play with it from what it seems, but then the Pidove starts, flying away, and it's not cool with it and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, um, Pidove just sits, I guess you can say, on Yamper's butt like it's some kind of, bird post, where birds just sit on. And all of a sudden, the family does make a mention of the fact that, Pidove looks really cute on Yamper like that and stuff like that. And it cuts to Koharu and her thoughts. And what I found hilarious is the fact that Koharu's like, well, I don't know if it's cute or not. And then Yamper's like, ah, thank goodness. She didn't say he was cute, but then Koharu's like, well, you're actually right. He is looking cute. And then Yamper's like, damn it, come on. Why are you freaking saying she's cute? Or he's cute? So stuff like that. And eventually comes to the professor kind of sees it, and he, because there was this one part where the Emperor starts tugging on Koharu's dress, and that's when the professor's like, "Yeah, I think Yamper's jealous of Pidove being around you, and that you're showing a lot of affection to him, and stuff like that." And Koharu's like, "Jealousy? I don't think. Why would Yamper be jealous?" And the professor goes on. It's like just a Pokemon thing where your Pokemon gets too attached. Now, what I actually thought originally was, I thought this episode would end up being like the freaking I think episode 8 or 9 where it focused on the Piplup and the Krogunk, where they were kind of feuding over the one girl. No, it wasn't like that where Pidove was like, oh, I want Koharu to myself, and it's him and Yamper feuding. Because if that were to happen, I would have actually criticized the episode. But it was complete. It was a completely different plot line. So it is pretty cool. It still has a jealousy plot line in here and stuff like that. So yeah. So after they leave, or before they leave, the professor said he's gonna put on the internet and ask around to see if there's a missing P Dove. So stuff like that. So there's a moment where Koharu's in school and she sees this Firo flying in the sky, and she remembers back to the time when they're going to take care of Pidove to help fly again. So it looks like, Koharu wants to help Pidove start to fly again and stuff like that. Now, after their school day was over, Pidove shows up on Koharu's arm, and then Yamper starts to get a little bit of jealous and stuff like that. Ash and Go are like, yo, what's going on with Yamper and stuff like that. And then the preface is like, oh, Yamper's just jealous of Pidove being all, I guess, like all affectionate and all over Koharu and stuff like that. And then this is when we get some really good character background on Koharu and some more character depth on Koharu, which adds to her development of the fact that, you know, Koharu is like a girl that kind of keeps to herself, and she doesn't really. She's a character that doesn't like to show a lot of emotion or show her true self in front of other people. And I guess you can say she's kind of shy, like she's a shy girl. But it's like she's growing. As the series progresses, you can see her try to break a little bit of that shell, and stuff like that. So we get some background of the fact that, Koharu, when she was, I guess you could say, a little kid, when she was probably like 4 or 5, actually got jealous of one of the professor's assistants, like hugging all over Yamper and playing with him. And Koharu was jealous of the fact like that. And I found it hilarious how I was like, wait, that was me, which, um, I guess I can say when it comes to these flashbacks, I'm like, I can understand why Koharu probably wouldn't remember those past memories when she was younger, because heck, even I can barely remember some things when I was a kid myself, in terms of me being ages 4 or 5. But at the same time, it's like, well, you should somewhat remember your past with Yamper. So, anyways, she was little Kara was jealous of the fact that Yamper hung around other people, but the reason so it showed that Koharu at a time, even well, she is now too, but at a time, was very close and really liked Yamper a whole lot when she was younger. Now, actually, we even go farther back in a little flashback when Yamper was first in Koharu's life, on the fact that she didn't really like Yamper. She didn't like the fact that Yamper always followed her around and was always up in her face and stuff like that. And even at first, she was like scared of Yamper. And then there's this one scene where Koharu kind of just gets really mad at Yamper and kind of screams at Yamper and says like, "Just stay away from me" and stuff like that. When she was a little kid, and essentially Yamper actually runs away from it because Koharu, when she's sleeping, she overhears her mom and dad say that Yamper is out of the house. And then Koharu, she goes to try to look for Yamper, and then all of a sudden these Venonats show up, and she gets scared, and then Yamper comes out of nowhere and chases the Venonats away. And, that's when I guess you can say she formed her first true bond with Yamper and stuff like that. So it was a nice little background of, of a backstory of Kohaku and the way she used to act. That, when Yamper first came into her life, she didn't like him to begin with. But then now she obviously cares about Yamper a whole lot. All of a sudden, you know, Yamper starts barking again, and then there's this Firo. The Firo we saw earlier in the episode actually comes back, and we find out Firo was the one that chased Pidove away, and stuff like that. So the Pidove tries to attack. Obviously, I mean the Firo tries to attack Yamper and Pidove, but when they see this, Pidove flies back to Koharu, and Professor's and Yamper looks like he's ready to battle. And then the professor makes a statement saying, like, you do know, Koharu, since Yamper's obviously, his jealousy is obviously so high, it really goes to show how much, he trusts you as a trainer and how much he loves you, essentially. And eventually, Koharu fights with Yamper again, like the episode she fought the Gengar with. She fights the Firo here, beats the Firo in like one hit, and yeah, and then all of a sudden, Yamper and Pidove near the end start to actually get along. But then, by the end of the episode, we find out that the Pidove was actually a lost Pokemon, and it's another person's, Pokemon. And essentially, that's where the episode kind of ends off. Koharu does look at her dad's book that he wrote about the relationship of how Pokemon and people can grow together. And then, she says how cool her dad is. And yeah, that's where the episode kind of ends. And then yeah, that's really it. So this week's episode was pretty good in terms of character development for Koharu because I know the Pokemon fandom in terms of watching the anime have been, always having the question fact like, are they gonna give us like another Koharu focused episode where they give us more character background about her? So yeah, like I said, it's kind of the same thing here. It was kind of related to a little bit of the earlier episode earlier this series she got development for. But like I said, she gets more development in terms of trying to break her shell. I think what they're trying to do with Koharu is, like I said, they're trying to, break her shell on the fact that she's obviously a shy character and she likes to stay to herself and doesn't like to do the things Ash and Go like to do, where they're all outgoing and stuff like that. She likes to keep to herself. She's kind of a person that's alone and shy and doesn't want to do that stuff and things. So, and plus in the backstory, it seemed like she's a much different character than she is now. So, like I said, maybe the Pokemon, directors are going in a way where, they're trying to make her have these developmental episodes to where she's able to break out of her shell. And then who knows, maybe she'll be more buddy buddy with Ash and Go, and stuff like that because she thinks of Go and Ash, well, morely Go as like just a kid. I guess another thing I did find funny at the end of the episode is, the Pharaoh was passed out, and I'm like, I wonder if there's somebody's gonna catch the Pharaoh. The next thing you know, the Pharaoh flies off and then goes like, "Wait, Pharaoh, come back! I'm trying to catch you!" And I'm like, yeah, I was had the exact same, reaction like Rabifu did. So I was like, yeah, he's spoiled to catch. But I was actually laughing like, haha, Go didn't get his Pokemon catch today this week. So yeah. Anyways, this episode was good. Sorry. Um, Next week seems to be a pretty interesting episode, but at the same time, I'm not looking forward to next week's episode. If you guys didn't catch the next episode preview, um, next episode preview is going to be one of those again filler type of episodes, no main importance. But the main, you know, I guess story point of the episode is Pikachu getting jealous of Ash using Riluyu too much, which not to say it's it's I guess bad. It's okay, but one we're having a back to back jealous Pokemon episode where this time it's one of Ash's Pokemon getting jealous, which is ironically Pikachu. So if we add the total up, there's been 3 episodes of Pokemon Journeys where they had, three episodes where there's a certain Pokemon that gets jealous of somebody else, and Pikachu's gonna be the third Pokemon next week. Um, I don't know how I feel about this. One, I don't even know if I want to even check the episode out because it's like, well, if you're gonna ask me the question, why would you not check the episode out? My thing is this. So Pikachu has been through how many regions with Ash? Let's count: Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, and Alola. That's 7 generations Pikachu's been with Ash, where Ash has had so many different Pokemon over the time. And because Ash is training Riluyu, wanting him to get stronger like he should be, like a good trainer is, Pikachu, out of all times now, after 7 generations, 7 regions, is now going to be like, I don't like the fact that Ash is hanging around and being, buddy buddy with another Pokemon. I'm like, because I actually saw the next episode preview before I saw this episode. Um, and I was like, why? Like, why would Pikachu feel some sort of way about this? I'll probably end up reviewing the video, but I'll probably highly criticize next week's episode. And you probably should be like, well, why criticize the episode? It's probably just Pikachu development. But it makes no sense to why Pikachu would be jealous unless they go more depth in why he gets all jealous because he apparently runs away as well. And it's like, why? Or why? Why? If this was a thing that was implemented back when the series first started, That's fine. That's more development for Pikachu and Ash to grow as characters. But I don't see why Pikachu out of a sudden would pull a 180 and get jealous of Ash when he's had like over 50 Pokemon he's used in this series together, and he's never expressed any freaking jealousy in any part of any of the other regions when he had other Pokemon that were clearly also better than Pikachu and himself. And I'm talking about the Charizards, the Sceptiles, the Infernates, the Greninjas, he never had any other issues with other Pokemon being his best Pokemon. Now all of a sudden here, in the Generation 8 anime, he's jealous now. Like I said, I shouldn't be judging so quickly, but that's just my opinion. It's like, why are we getting a Pikachu jealous episode? Why are we getting another Pokemon back-to-back jealous episode where they get jealous of another some? And it's like, okay, whatever. They just better do a good job in explaining why Pikachu's jealous and give me a good reason to why he's running away. Otherwise, I'll rip this episode apart. And I know it's Pokemon, but come on, let's be real. You can do better than that. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. So till then, hopefully you guys are having a great, safe day. And put in the comment section what's your thoughts on this episode and did you like Koharu's development. So till then, guys, this has been Camfrey15, and I'm signing out. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whenever you check out this video. So till then, guys, peace.